told your friend you're not okay.
K-pop news. Are you ready for a story that will thrill the entire fan world? After 3 consecutive nights of rocking Tampa with near-perfect concerts, a new chapter has finally begun. The day millions of fans around the world have been waiting for has arrived. The city of El Paso, Texas, became a center of international attention as news of the group's arrival spread like wildfire. But tonight, one figure was at the center of all conversation: Taehyung. His arrival brought a wave of euphoria that even before the plane landed, it was already reverberating throughout the city. A luxurious white plane was seen streaking across the El Paso skyline, gleaming in the warm Texas sun. Video of the arrival spread across social media within seconds, creating a frenzy among fans. As the plane's landing gear touched the runway, thousands of people waiting held their breath. The plane's doors slowly opened. The crew disembarked first, ensuring everything was safe. And after seconds that felt like minutes, the most anticipated figure finally emerged. Taehyung stepped off with a powerful yet elegant style, like someone who is well accustomed to being the center of attention. Despite his simple and casual appearance, his aura was anything but simple. Even from a distance, his charm was so strong that fans immediately flooded every video uploaded. His smile, his steps, his eyes, everything looked like the opening scene of a long-awaited blockbuster. The other members followed behind, creating a moment that seemed truly cinematic. But Taehyung remained the most captivating figure. Every second the camera captured him sent fans into a frenzy. It was as if all of El Paso's energy was being drawn to one point: the plane's door. Upon arrival on land, the members were immediately directed to their prepared vehicles. They would rest for a while before their next big concert, scheduled for May 2nd and 3rd at Sun Bowl Stadium. But what made that day even more unforgettable was how El Paso welcomed them. Within hours, the color purple dominated the city. Flags, posters, balloons, and a sea of light sticks filled the streets. Many fans had come from far and wide: California, Arizona, New Mexico, even Mexico, all united in one city for a common cause. On a small hill near the stadium, fans had created a giant purple star-shaped symbol that glowed beautifully in the night sky. From a distance, the lights looked like a giant message hanging in the sky: unwavering love. Many fans came just to take photos at the spot, some carrying light sticks, singing their favorite songs, creating an emotional atmosphere that was hard to describe. It felt like the entire city was beating to a single rhythm, a rhythm filled with love for their idols. The Sun Bowl Stadium was no less impressive. The giant stage now stood majestically, flanked by the imposing Franklin Mountains and sweeping city views. The location created a truly spectacular backdrop, something rarely seen at any concert. The sights had fans convinced that this concert had the potential to be one of the most iconic of the tour. Even the El Paso government welcomed them with great honor. A special resolution was passed recognizing the contributions of the local fan community, which has brought so many people together through their overwhelming support. Furthermore, the group was also awarded the honorary title of Friend of the Board of Commissioners. This was more than just an award. It was a testament to the cultural, social, and economic impact their presence had on the city. Hotels were packed, shopping malls were bustling, restaurants were constantly serving customers. Everything was moving because of this concert. And of course, the biggest spotlight remained on Taehyung. After seeing how he stole the show for 3 days in Tampa, expectations were sky high. Rumors abounded: special stages, solo performances, rearranged covers of favorite songs, and even the possibility of a surprise song never heard before. Fans didn't know what to expect, but they knew one thing: Taehyung never disappointed. His presence on stage always captivated the audience. His movements were rhythmic. His gaze radiated a charisma that couldn't be taught, only possessed. But the group's greatest appeal was never just one member. When Taehyung stood with the rest of the group on stage, their power was multiplied. Night slowly descended on El Paso, but the city's excitement only intensified. As news of the members' arrival spread, the atmosphere around Sun Bowl Stadium showed no signs of abating. Fans who had been waiting since morning now gathered outside the stadium, watching as the massive stage continued to be polished. The stage lights were tested one by one, and the faint sound of bass thumping could be heard from within, creating small vibrations in the ground that were enough to make fans stare at each other with sparkling eyes. Some even whispered, wondering if Taehyung was inside the stadium for a secret rehearsal. Meanwhile, in a private, heavily guarded location, Taehyung and the other members were preparing for something far bigger than anyone could have imagined. The room was filled with staff, backup dancers, choreographers, arrangers, and a visual team working in unison, like one giant machine. Taehyung stood in the center of the room, dressed in simple practice attire, but his charisma was still felt throughout the room. He stared at the large monitor screen, which was playing the El Paso stage concept for the first time, and his eyes showed a mixture of focus, expectation, and determination. The concert's concept was designed to offer something unprecedented on previous tours. There was a special segment created just for Taehyung, something not seen in Tampa. A small, circular stage was set up in the center of the stadium, and according to the secret plan, Taehyung would perform solo, with a highly dramatic visual setup, combining soft lights, silhouettes, and laser formations that seemed to dance to his movements. The lead choreographer said this moment was deliberately designed to showcase Taehyung at his most artistic, most emotional, and closest to being a true performer. Outside the rehearsal room, staff were busy ensuring that all elements of the concert were perfectly synchronized. 8K cameras were strategically placed to capture every expression, every tiny movement, and every detail, making the audience feel incredibly close to the stage. Drones would even be used to capture panoramic shots from above the stadium, a grand plan reserved for a concert that was predicted to be one of the highlights of the entire tour. Amidst all the activity, Taehyung took a moment to sit down and stare at the lyrics sheet lying on his lap. A song he hadn't performed live since its release. A song with personal meaning. This song, according to inside sources, was the reason why preparations for the El Paso concert were being carried out so seriously and with such secrecy. Taehyung closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and smiled a small smile, a smile that only appears when he truly feels an emotional connection to the song. He knew that once the stage lit up and tens of thousands of purple light sticks splashed, it would be an unforgettable moment for anyone who witnessed it. Not just for the fans, but for himself as well. Outside the stadium, the El Paso night breeze gently blew past the rows of fans still seated against the railing. Some of them told stories of their long journeys to this city. Some had traveled dozens of hours by road. Some had spent months of their savings just to experience this concert, and still others had come alone despite having never been to the city before. But all of their stories always boiled down to one thing. They wanted to see Taehyung and the members stand on stage together, creating a night that no one could replicate. On the hill where the giant purple star shone, the atmosphere grew even more lively. The purple light created beautiful silhouettes of fans singing along, making the night feel magical. And from that vantage point, Sun Bowl Stadium looked like a giant arena preparing to make its own history. Many took photos of the purple star while gazing out at the stadium, as if capturing two interconnected symbols: the love given by the fans, and the stage where Taehyung would stand in a matter of hours. As time passed, one thing became increasingly clear. El Paso wasn't just a concert venue. This city was building a great memory, a cherished chapter in the members' long journey. And when the day of the concert finally arrived, when the voices of thousands of fans echoed from the Franklin Mountains, when the purple light spread across the Texas night sky, all the travel, all the sacrifices, all the long wait would finally be worth it.